Once upon a time in the land of Germany, there was a wonderful city called Düsseldorf. And in the middle of that wonderful city, there was a distinctive building. And at its top was housed a very special library that contained an enormous treasure trove of books and stories. People who lived in this wonderful city, some of whom had moved there from all around the world, would visit this very special library and find books and DVDs and magazines and newspapers and even events that, unlike most others in Germany, were all in a language called English. One of these events held in this library was a story time called Tales for Tots. Young children from far and wide across the city would arrive at the special library, brought by their relatives or friends, and take their place amongst the books and sing songs together and listen to stories read from the books that lived there. Some of these stories were magical adventures, some interesting mysteries, some were fantastically funny, and some even were a tiny, insy bit scary. Mostly these stories had bright, colorful illustrations that children really liked looking at, and were always in English. And if the friend or relative was a member of the very special library, the child could borrow the book and take it home for a while to read again and again and again. So then the people who worked at the very special library would log the books in the computer, and when the children returned them, they would put the books carefully back on the shelves for the next person coming to the library. All of the people that worked at the very special library did so because they loved the books and the audiobooks and the DVDs and the magazines and the newspapers. But most of all, the people who worked there loved the stories. This was good because they did not get paid in money for the time they spent in the library, but they did get rewarded in many other ways. The people who worked at the very special library were always looking for like-minded people to join them, to help keep the magic of the stories alive. People who had skills and talent to share. And do you know what is truly amazing about this library? Every time anyone at all, has an encounter with one of the stories that live there, and it makes no difference if the story lives in a book or a DVD, or even if it is from a person who works there or from someone who is just visiting, a little part of that story leaves with them and lives on in that person forever and ever and happily ever after.